on board two now. Local favourite Justin Pipes just getting underway against UK Open debutant Ryan Michael. We'll keep you posted on that and all the other scores, of course, as we make our way through the second round here. And on the main stage, we've got quite a game for you, as the 2008 Lakeside champion M.Webster takes on the 2014 Lakeside champion Stephen Bunting. To bring him in for us, John McDonald.
Thank you. Welcome back to the action on the main stage. You've joined us live on ITV from Bunting's Minehead and the Coral UK Open. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet our players and two former Lakeside champions collide. Please welcome the Bullet, Stephen Bunting, and Spider, M.Webster.
What you're about to witness is no illusion. And now we got the bass banging from head to Buckingham Palace. They're all moving. Hey.
Back over to Stuart Pike and Alan Warren Little to take us through this one.
Two former Lakeside champions, and one of them will be heading home with no prize money in the back pocket, reminding you have to get through to round three. In the round three draw coming up later, Chris Mason and Keith Deller will be making that draw. All the big guns are coming in, but two big guns here clashing in round two. Stephen Bunting, natty new haircut, has struggled of late, and he needs a big tournament. He's former UK Open semi-finalist, Stephen Bunting, of course. M.Webster on his day could be really, really impressive. Confirmation here, by the way, of an upset on the outer boards. Wayne Jones survived 4 match darts to win a deciding leg in the first round against Lee Bryant, and he just knocked out former UK Open finalist Terry Jenkins convincingly. Wayne Jones beating Terry Jenkins 6-2. That's a big score coming in from board 4. More of that later on, I'm sure, with Ned and Chris keeping an eye on proceedings on the outer boards. But an upset, no doubt.
Absolutely, Stuart. When the draw was done, this was certainly the standout match, as Mr. McDonald and yourself have mentioned, both former Lakeside champions. Stephen Bunting just lost his way a little, more in terms of results. He still played pretty well on occasions, but hasn't had the consistency that got him into the top 16.
We've got a Welshman on view here, and another Welshman is a winner through to round 3. Johnny Clayton, 6-3. He has beaten Mark Frost. That's on board 7. Latest score coming in from board 8, by the way. Devon Peterson 3-1 up against Jermaine Fatimina. And we'll keep you up to date with all the scores.
Webster throwing first in the match. Wants to try and get that first leg on the board and calm himself down a bit. Both players under a lot of pressure, as you mentioned, Stuart. One of them's going home. Not just with no prize money, but just trying to get themselves out of that rut and go to the next few tournaments in a bit more of a positive feeling.
Well, particularly for Bunting over the last 12 months, a real struggle. I mean, we know what a fantastic player he is. There's absolutely no doubt. And, you know, he's right up there, but he's lost his place in the top 16 in the world, and he's struggled a little bit on the tour as well. Webster here looking for treble 17 to leave double 16. Oh, excellent start from the Welshman. Top plus finish, thanks very much. 1 up.
Nice 15 dart leg when you throw in first, very hard to break. But as you mentioned with Stevens, Stuart, he isn't particularly playing that bad, but the standard nowadays, if you just let it drop 10%, you can lose them Pro Tour matches very easy nowadays. Well, and then it gets under your skin because you lose a few on the trot and you get mad with yourself and you try a little bit too hard.
Excellent point, well made. I mean, you look at Stephen Bunting, the first weekend of the Players' Championship, last weekend in Barnsley.
81.
And tough it is, but Bunting, 2 first-round exits.
Yeah, it puts you under more pressure for the next one because you're just trying so hard to get your game going. He's certainly got the ability, as we all know. Every win makes you feel better. Every defeat gets under your skin.
Yeah, it just makes it that little bit harder, doesn't it, to turn things around as well.
So a chance of Bunting here. Leaves something pretty handy. Good second one.
100.
Leaves Shanghai. That's a good marker there for Webster. If he can fill it in, Bunting will really be under pressure to take out the Shanghai.
120.
Well, there's the pressure.
56.
It's amazing how many times that it does the trick, doesn't it? Bunting was cruising, and now he might lose the leg. Oh, 5 brilliant darts from M.Webster, and Stephen Bunting already in trouble. And here's one for you. Stephen Bunting has never beaten M.Webster in competition.
Well, Webster has started like a train. He really has. It's his second maximum. It's averaging over 110. First leg in 15, second in 14. Back comes Bunting though.
140.
But when you're chasing the game, it's so difficult. Certainly with M.Webster playing absolutely fantastic on the scoring and knocking up.
100.
With the first dart at the double. 2 out of 2 on doubles, 2 maximums, 110 average. It's all looking good. Can Bunting change that?
Well, effectively now, because Webster started the match, he has to break the Welshman's throw twice.
140.
I think he just needs to get that first leg on the board as quickly as possible.
Just to reiterate, in case you're joining us, and I know a lot of people are switching on as the day goes on, Michael van Gerwen withdrawing from the UK Open because of a back problem. Tops for Webster.
41.
That's his first miss. But this is a big ask for the bullet. No. Trouble 16, or maybe trouble 20.
97.
Went back up to the 20s.
It's relying on Webster missing, yeah. Hasn't missed much, hasn't done too much wrong. Neither's Bunting, to be honest. But Stephen Bunting, here we are in leg 4, hasn't had a dart and a double yet.
140.
No, and you can't really say he's playing badly. He's averaging just under 100, 5 140s. But when you get somebody, as you can see the stats there, but when you get a player 3 legs under 15 darts, 2 of them were against a throw, so he only had 12 darts at the board.
Both players, by the way, just missed out
97.
on a place in the top 32, which would have guaranteed them, you know, £1,750 prize money and a bye through to the 3rd round. Both players missed out on countback. They had the same amount of prize money as other players who did make it through. just bring you up to date with what's going on around the boards. Justin Pipe in front, over on board 2. Good win there for young Matty Dennant. The Rocket in front, Ronnie Baxter.
60.
Another win for the Dutchman, Ron Mullenkamp. What a win there for Jermaine Votimena over Devon Peterson.
Single 12, yeah. Just needs to get this first leg on the board. Despite being 3-0 down, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult after Webster hits a maximum to leave a 1-2-4. Pressure on for Bunting. 8-8. Oh. Again, the 180 makes it. He did that in an earlier leg to leave 61 and took 61 out. Can he do it again? Shots on.
Wonderful M.Webster! Wonderful darts! And Stephen Bunting in all sorts of trouble. 3 180s, 2 ton plus finishes, 4 out of 6 on the doubles, 104 average. Pretty good. Very good.
Well, almost a repeat of the second leg, isn't it? A maximum to put the pressure on. Stephen missed.
57.
Took out 61 in 2 for leg 2, and then that fantastic 1-2-4.
Just wondering, I mean, you'd have, in your long and some would say illustrious career, you'd have played, and you know that you struggle against certain players. And every player, talking to them, seems to know pretty much what their record is against all the other players.
60.
I mentioned that Stephen Bunting has never ever beaten M.Webster. Does that come into it? He will know that when he walks up on the stage, do you think?
It can on occasions, but I think at this moment in time, the hardest player for Stephen Bunting to beat is Stephen Bunting. He just can't get any confidence because of the early round exits in the tournaments that we've mentioned. He's not playing particularly bad, but then you get a player doing this against you. M.Webster is playing fantastic here. That's his 4th maximum. Now he's into the hundreds, and Stephen Bunting isn't playing badly, but just can't get that leg on the board.
Apart from Phil Taylor, who in your era beat virtually everybody, who was the player that you came up against and struggled, or you had a poor
60.
record against?
I'm trying to think of one. I think initially in the early days, Mike Gregory was a bogey player for me. Then I managed to get that win and then won quite a few on the trot. Same with Dennis Priestley, actually. When I played him in the World Championships, I'd lost the first 3 or 4 times I met him, and then I had the 3 or 4 wins. It's strange how it works, isn't it?
Stevie, you require 97.
Well, you feel that this really has to go for Bunting. Gives him a shot, double 12. On the wire again.
You require 44.
Just so close, yet so far. This would hurt. Oh, a long way off there, but still one more dart left for double 10. Now then, this is Bunting's chance. I know he's 4-0 down. Just needs to get a leg on the board. Get himself into the match. Yeah, good dart, Stephen.
Stephen Bunting.
Well, important. Very important.
Game on.
Definitely needed that. He knows. Could it have that turnaround in the match that we see so often?
60.
It's a break of throw, and Webster missing 2 darts to go 5-0 in front.
Yeah, almost expected him not to miss the way he'd been playing.
134.
4 out of 6 on the doubles before that visit. But he's got a chance again in this leg. His scoring has been fantastic. He's looking for his 5th maximum.
140.
Got a 1-3-4 on a 140 is a pretty good start to a leg, Stuart.
93.
Yeah, he's just been very, very good, M.Webster. Simple as that. The former UK Open semi-finalist, Stephen Bunting. At the moment, the way Webster's playing, you can't see a way back, but we all know there's always a way back. So that last dart is thrown.
Well, if Stephen can hit a 180 here, which he has done, his first one, he may be turning the table because he's left himself 75 when he looked out with the leg. Well, he's already had a 1-2-4. He needs the bull for 1-2-7. Oh, fantastic dart from M.Webster. And just when you thought Stephen Bunting was clawing his way back in the match,
you will know better than anybody. Sometimes there's absolutely nothing you can do when your opponent is finishing like that. He's a leg away, but he's hit a 103 finish, a 1-2-4 check out, and then that 1-2-7 on the ball. And when your opponent's doing that,
140.
there's nothing you can do.
now he's been playing fantastic as M.Webster. And he's showing it up there.
99.
He'll be dangerous in the tournament. He's got a lot of experience, as we all know.
Difficult for Bunting, absolutely, but you know, we know he's a class act. We know he's just a win or two away from turning things around this year.
Well, there's so many tournaments now, particularly on the Pro Tour. You have all the chances in the world to get your game back. It's just that mental block he's got because he's not had that many wins recently. Maybe lost matches he could have won, and then it preys on your mind for the next tournaments. You're almost thinking about it all the way through to the game.
100.
Just needs to turn it around. Certainly capable, as we all know. Quality player, not just on the stage but in the Opens as well.
140.
It'll happen.
He's too good not to, isn't he?
Yeah.
He really is too good. Just needs to turn it around.
99.
It's a bad lie. Can't flick it over.
65.
Well, I can understand him going for that because it leaves a decent outshot on 135 because Webster's looking at the match here. May stay there or may go for the ball. It's got options. So single 17.
62.
I'll leave him tops. So Bunting has to take out this 135 to stay in the UK Open. Good first one. Treble 20. Oh, he's hit it. He needs the ball. Oh, that's what Stephen Bunting can do. M.Webster must have been thinking he's going to have 3 darts at top for the match. Fair play to Stephen Bunting. Fantastic finish. Well, still a lot of work to do in this match, but it will certainly give him some more confidence, without a doubt, Stuart.
140.
4 of the 7 legs have now been won with 10+ finishes.
Yeah, it's not often you see that, is it? So many big finishes in one match. Could have keep at it though.
47.
Not a good visit.
Score update coming from the outer boards. Ronnie Baxter, 1 away, 5-3 up on Richard North. Jamie Lewis, 2-0 up
60.
on Paul Hogan, and Justin Pipe is through, the local man from Taunton. He has beaten
60.
the young barber from Suffolk, Ryan Meikle, 6-0.
Yeah, good result there for Justin. Oh, that's number 5 from M.Webster. Homing in. It's against the throw. That's a bad first dart.
43.
So big opportunity now for Mark Webster to put this to bed. He's got options. Should stay there. Doesn't need to go for the treble 17. So right in the middle of the big one.
81.
To leave his favourite double top.
Well, he's done all he can to put some pressure on, but are those the last darts that Stephen Bunting throws?
Well,
Stephen, you require 88.
I didn't expect that. I really didn't. Oh, what a poor dart from Stephen.
28.
Well, he's made a bit of a mess of that one, Stuart.
You require 40.
A heck of a mess.
After being given the opportunity as well.
Mark Webster doesn't need asking again. And Mark Webster, with an average of 100, is through to round 3 here in Minehead. And Stephen Bunting, the former UK Open semi-finalist, his trials and tribulations continue. Terrific win for Webster. He beats Bunting 6-2 on the opening afternoon of the UK Open finals.
A very good win over on board 2 for local Somerset boy Justin Pipe. A whitewash for him, 6-0 over Ryan Meikle. And there's the celebration, the traditional familiar one. I think they enjoyed that down there, and he enjoyed it as well. Well, we have seen a fabulous win here on the main stage for Welshman Mark Webster. A 6-2 winner over Stephen Bunting, which means Stephen drops out of the world's top 20. He averaged almost 100, he hit 5 180s, and he's now downstairs talking to John.
Mark, you must be pretty pleased with that. Your game looks in good order, averaging nearly 100 and those huge checkouts as well.
Yeah, they turned the game for me. There were sucker punches, weren't they? I didn't last weekend. They didn't have a great weekend. I know Stephen didn't have a great weekend last weekend, and so Barnsley. So it was a confidence game. But I knew it was just keep myself together. I've never lost to Stephen, so I know that plays in people's minds. So I managed to. It took some big finishes. I don't think he played that bad. I think I hit him with some sucker punches, and luckily I'm in the hat now for the next round.
How much of a psychological edge does it give you, knowing that he's never actually done you in a competition?
Not so much a psychological edge for me. I know the feeling of going into a game when you've not beaten someone, so I was hoping that Stephen would feel like that. But it was, I just got to capitalise on it. And I hold myself together early exchange. I think, I won my first leg comfortably with the throw. When you win the throw, you've got to win your first leg comfortably. And then I got the second leg. I just took out some big finishes. I played good. I played a good game. So thankfully I'm in the next round now. So look forward to it.
When he hit you with that 135 checkout, was it just a little something at the back of you thinking, whoa, dig in here, make absolutely sure?
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's, you think when you're 5-1 up, you've cracked the player, but he's obviously. He still felt he could win because he took the 135. He gave it the. He's a good player. I mean, he's going for a rough time in the minute, as am I. So I knew we were in a different plight, but I'm pleased to win. He's a good guy, and I'm obviously looking forward to the next round.
Absolutely, well played.
Thank you.
Into the next round, you've got to be there to win it. You never know.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm going to win next round, hopefully.
Well done.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you. Ciao.
Yeah, they'll all have their eyes on that draw, won't they, at the conclusion of the round 2 matches here. They're all hoping for the bye, because sadly Michael van Gerwen can't be with us due to a poorly back, so we hope that he will be better very soon. Now, we've already had our fair share of stories from the multi-board area today. Let's find out what's happening down there right now with Ned.
We're beginning to run out of matches. There's a couple of boards that have run their course already, but over on board 3, really good contest brewing up between Paul Hogan and Jamie Lewis. 4-all the last time I turned around and had a little look. Really good game.
Standard.
OK, let's round up some of the action you might have missed over on board 3. A man you know very well, Matty Dennett, beating Zoran Lepap of Austria 6-4.
Yeah, practiced with Matty quite a lot. Got him ready for this one, and he seems to be paying off. He's playing well.
Familiar face, 2015 beaten semi-finalist Andrew Gilding through to the 3rd round, beating Ryan Murray 6-4. So he's one to watch out for, isn't he? And Mace, Ron Newlandkamp as well, 6-4 over Lee Evans. He's through to the third round. Good player.
Yeah, well, I did the comms on his first match on the main stage, and I spoke to him afterwards, and he wasn't happy, but after this one he said he actually threw something more like what he's throwing in practice, so he's another danger man.
Gaining in confidence and momentum, Johnny Clayton getting the better of Mark Frost by 6-3 and getting himself through into the third round.
Yeah, another big win. That Frost is always dangerous. You never know what Frost is going to turn up, but it's a big win that for Johnny.
And
another guy that's going to be dangerous in the draw.
There's plenty of them rolling back the years. The Saint, Alan Tavern, he's through 6-3 as well against James Carroll.
Wayne's mate, that.
Yeah. And talking of Wayne, Wayne's Worlds, Wayne Jones beating Terry Jenkins 6-2 and having survived that real fright in round one. That was much more like the kind of thing that would tick the boxes for the man from Wolverhampton. Very good win indeed for Wayne Jones, and here he is. And that was, well, how many times have you two played each other? But there won't be too many times where you would have just done him like that.
No, we usually have a good game. We've got a decent record against Terry, so I knew if I played well, I got a chance. So my first round was poor. I was pleased with that. Very pleased with that.
Have you got your bad game out of the way early doors then?
I hope so. It's going to go longer games, isn't it? So the longer the better for me. So later on tonight, hopefully I should be fine.
Good to see this man in the third round, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he could be on the M5 already on his way back to Wolverhampton. You know, it's and I think when you survive a game like that, you get a sort of a mentality that you're almost on a bit of a free roll. You know in your mind, well, I could be out, so let's just go and let it go and see what happens. And I mean, that was a fabulous, you know, not quite selling it enough. That was a superb game and way in the 100 averages for Wayne. It was a real demolition job, and nobody really gives Terry much of a thumping, but that was a bashing.
Yeah, very good point. He's so consistent, isn't he, Terry? But listen, you in this tournament, you've got some happy memories, haven't you? A couple of quarter-final appearances, or admittedly, good few years ago, 2003 and 6. I think I've got that right.
I think last 3 years, I think I've gone out first game, so it's nice to actually win a few games. But I have been on really good form the last few months. I've changed my darts, and I've been playing really well. I've been unlucky a few tournaments. I've had some great averages and gotten beat. People are hitting silly legs against me, and that's the only thing that's stopping me. So to beat me, somebody's got to play well, and I'm happy with that.
Simple as that. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
No problem at all. Thank you.
Yes, Wayne Jones, the big Wolves fan, the big Steve Ball fan, seeing off the ball today in style, in emphatic style. Well done to him. More live action to come after the break, and it's 7 years since Robert Thornton was crowned the UK Open champion in Bolton. Today, he's got a round 2 battle on his hands against qualifier Kevin Bambrick.